What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 25th day of May, 5/25/26, and here we are sitting at about $77.4 thousand with roughly 11 hours and a half left in the day. Again, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. Okay, so here we are at the beginning of what likely will be a path that inevitably takes us lower. I do suspect that we will see prices somewhere around 70K, maybe even as low as 65K before seeing any kind of significant recovery, right? What we've seen over the past few days is definitely not a significant recovery. Now, we could continue. We could continue up to about 79K, just above there maybe. That is still not what I would call a significant recovery, right? Like, this is significant. This is significant. Hell, even this is significant, but a little move like this is not quite as significant. It's just a retracement. I do believe that we are going to be working our way down over the next month or so, down to 70K. I don't believe that it's going to be a quick drop like this. It could be. Anything can happen, but that's just my perspective. Let's get into the short-term stuff. I know that I share that perspective in almost every video at the beginning, but I think it's important to kind of get across what my point of view is, okay? And what the possibilities are. Of course, we could go up. I could be wrong. This could be the high. In order to disprove my theories, and in order to prove that we are, in fact, going higher, we'd have to see prices that are above 80K effectively. We'd have to get above 80K on a daily closing basis. Until then, I remain firm in my stance. Looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame, we're moving up a little bit here, right? You had a little bit of volume. On the way down, you didn't have too much volume. At the very low, you did. On the way up, you didn't have too much volume, whatever. But as you're moving up here, less volume. As you're moving up here, less volume. You could continue to rally. It is possible. But I really do believe that from here, from this area, we will start to see Bitcoin come down and probably drop down. Not only that, but we do have the CME gap. I don't know what it was yesterday, man. It was Sunday. I, for some reason, thought that it was Monday, that we had the daily close already or something. I don't know what I was on, but we have the CME gap now, and basically at the exact same price that we did during yesterday's video. It's the 12th hour now. Here was the 12th hour yesterday. It's literally at the exact same price. So that gap, all that gap TA does apply here, thankfully. But yeah, the gap technically wasn't formed yesterday. I don't know what I was thinking, because today's Monday. Oh, is it even? Would the CME futures even be open today because of Memorial Day? Daily Bitcoin CME futures. Why does it say 1 day 9 hours for the daily? It is open. It is open. We do have a gap. No. Is it Tuesday? It's Monday. It says it's Tuesday. I don't understand. Maybe it isn't open? This is like after hour, pre-hour market conditions. I don't know. Because it's a holiday, I don't know how that works. Anyways, it does say that we're at 77K here. And on Friday it says we were here, but it just goes from Friday to Tuesday here, and it's not Tuesday yet. So I don't know. A day and 9 hours left. We do have a gap. One way or another, we do have a gap. Whatever the time stuff is going on here, we do have a gap. So something to fill to the downside. A little gap here to the upside. Something to fill to the upside as well. So we can see a little bit of volatility. That would give us a proper head and shoulders pattern on the CME futures and something to drop from. If we were to measure this from a low to a high and take that head and shoulders and put it at the breakout point, which would likely be at a higher price, something like that, that would take us below 70K, at least on the futures, as far as the futures is concerned. So 68.6K, something like that. If we were to look at this here, 68.6K, that's not what I meant to do. 68.6K from this relative low to this relative high. That takes us right there at the 786, and in yesterday's video we explained how throughout this whole range there actually has been a bunch of iterations that have interacted with the 786, if not even gone lower. So it makes sense that we might work our way down to that area. That doesn't mean that it's one fell swoop. Of course it could be, but again, something methodical is what I'm expecting, more or less. It might be late June before we're down there. Maybe it's mid-June, but I don't think that it'll be this week or next week that we get down there. You never know. Bitcoin can move fast when it wants to, and in a bear market, it does move rather aggressively to the downside, more methodically to the upside. Anyways, 1 hour time frame. Getting back to this here. Looking at this, the RSI, I'm not a fan of it. It was bullish for a second here. It looked kind of bullish here, but then you started rejecting your overbought zone, and here you're even getting weaker results. It just makes you think that you want to go lower, that you want to have interactions with the oversold zone. And when we have interactions with the oversold zone, that's when we see bearish stuff, right? Imagine here you got oversold for your first little taste. That was just the beginning of this breakout to the downside there. And we look at the MACD. The MACD is not that impressive. Technically, it is bullish, but it's not that impressive. You're choppy and sideways. I wouldn't weigh in on that too much. And the stochastics do look bearish, in my genuine opinion. Looking at this on the 4 hour time frame, the RSI here is finding resistance. We are finding some resistance at the 60. You found support at the 50. That's nice. You're just not doing anything with it, man. You're trying, but then you're wicking. You're finding resistance here. I think you want to go down. Stochastics are overbought. You've reset. The MACD is back at the 0. Perfect area to reject. I think you want to go lower, but we'll see. That's my perspective. I could be proven wrong, and if I am proven wrong, I would think that we only go to 79K. There was a time where I really did think, that's where we were going to go with 79K, but after this drop, I'm a little bit more hesitant to call for that upside. So now I'm just assuming that we're going to go down from here. And even if you, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I feel comfortable going short here, because even if you take a small short, let's say 2x to 5x leverage, something short or something small, 5x would give you a 10% loss at 79K, maybe something like that at the worst. If we were to get to 80K, it's a little bit more aggressive of a loss, 15% to 16, 17%, something like that. It's not as fun, but that would be kind of where my stop loss would be above 80K. I do think that we're going to go lower, and I do think that inevitably we will see prices below 70K. So, at a 5x or lower leverage, even at 2x, that's a 20% move. 5x, you're dealing with something that's like over 50% gains. So, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. No volume on the way up, a little bit of volume on the way down. I think that we do push lower. And I think it'll start today. I really do think that today we will see the price below where it is now. I don't know how much lower. Again, I don't know how fast we're going to move down, but it seems as though we have seen some rather aggressive moves down, and the moves up, other than this move here, the moves up haven't really been too, I guess this move here, they haven't been too aggressive in comparison. This move was smaller than this move here. This move was smaller than this move here. The moves down are definitely larger. So if this is what we had up, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something larger than that on the way down, something that took us below 74K. And that could be as early as, by the end of today or tomorrow, something like that. We look at this here on the 4 hour, the RSI, again, not too bullish on this here. Stochastics reset and the MACD's at the 0. There's definitely bearish foreshadowing in the charts. Looking at the daily time frame, the RSI, technically, overall, it is bullish. You've yet to get oversold. You have gotten overbought consistently. You're at an area where you've bounced from before, where you found resistance from before, where you bounced from before back here. It just depends on what we do. For now, I think, you are in the bearish area of control. You definitely are taking a more bearish stance, but overall, you've got this bullish look, so anything can happen. I'm still taking the bearish side. The stochastics here are pointed up a little bit, but we have found resistance right in this area after interacting with the oversold zone before. We absolutely can come down lower. The MACD is at the 0, and for right now, this would be the point of contention that you'd want to hold. So if you can hold this, if we can move up and cross green here, that would look pretty good for the bulls. But until that happens, I'm going to stand firm in my bearish stance, and I don't really have anything else to say. So I'm going to end the video there. If you guys like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Again, to make it very, very, very clear, I know it's already clear, but just for any people who might be confused, the expectation overall is that we will see something down around 68K to 70K. maybe 71K at the very least. And we could go lower. It is possible that we could go lower. I don't think that from here we're just going to full send to lower lows. I mean, if we do, this could very well be the end of the bear market, and we're getting done with that in June or July. I don't think that's what's going to happen. Just because I don't think that's what's going to happen doesn't mean it can't happen. There's plenty of things that I've thought could happen that don't happen, and things that I wouldn't have imagined happened that happened. So I can be wrong. I've been wrong before. I can be right. I've been right before. Time will tell. But my assumption is, again, that we move down probably somewhere to this area from the overall low to the overall high. This is the golden ratio zone, the 68K, 66K area. And from this relative low of this move up here that we've experienced really since the beginning of April to here, the beginning of May, it's also in the 786, 886 area that we've shown a lot of respect on relative pivots throughout this range. So something in that area, that's where I think we're going to go. It will be rather aggressive, perhaps on the way down, but we will see volatility, some recovery, and working our way down inevitably to lower lows. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.